Did you know that at Scrapwerx we are 100% committed to a zero waste policy? That means diverting as much as we can from a landfill. In the 2 years that we've been at it, we have been successful in diverting 1 ton, that's 2,000 pounds of fabric from going into a landfill. Not bad. DIY video, we're gonna make a scrap fabric pom-pom. We're going to combine it with yarn. I've made several in advance just to kind of show you what they look like. This is using scraps of fabric. This one's using scraps of fabric, but it hasn't been trimmed, so it's a little more raggedy looking. This one, I used cheesecloth and yarn. Kind of has a fun look to it. This one was tulle and yarn. Almost looks like a science experiment. And here's a fabric one. Here's a fabric one. This is trimmed a little smaller. And this one was with some yarn, but it was that eyelash kind of yarn. Okay, so what you'll have in the kit that we're providing is a long piece of fabric, about 14 inches long, and a little piece of recycled sleeve from a coffee. That's why the coffee is so expensive, because they provide a pom-pom maker with your coffee, and yarn, and some strips of fabric. So we're going to start by placing the long piece of fabric across the cardboard sleeve that's been trimmed, and then you hold with your thumb and just wrap. Just start wrapping until you've come to the end. Okay, so we've come to the end of the fabric, almost. And what you do is you take that the long piece of fabric that you started with, and you tie it really, really tightly. And then again in a knot as tightly as you can. You take scissors and you begin to cut on the opposite side of the coffee sleeve, which is your pom-pom maker. And you begin to cut. You can cut a little bit at a time. You could maybe cut the whole thing, but it depends on how sharp your scissors are. And you just keep cutting. So I'm going to do a little bit at a time. And it will look a little bit raggy, but you trim it. Go from both sides, it's a little easier. Okay, so you can come in from both directions and cut. So you cut it all. You can remove the cardboard. Then you'll have what looks like a goofy looking pom-pom to begin with. You sort of manipulate it a little bit to where it doesn't look so it's full and filled in, and then you begin to trim. So we're going to trim it. And you can make these small, you can make them a little bit larger, but there you have it. My scissors need to be oiled, obviously. I get the squeak, squeak, squeak. But there you have it. So these are the little Scrapwerx do-it-yourself pom-pom scrap fabric kits that we've put together for you. At Scrapwerx, we're committed to not wasting anything. Once you've finished making your pom-poms, you can use them for a variety of different things. You can put one on a handbag, use it as a key fob. You can use them to tie back your curtains, attach it to a hair clip, or whatever else you come up with.